Welcome to Study Loop.
Alrighty, so this one is all about what's really happening in interphase, right? And so interphase, the cell duplication cycle sort of starts with our G1 phase, which goes to our S phase, which goes to our G2 phase, and then this will go to the M phase and then back to G1. And so this bottom row here, this G1, S, and G2, this is all part of the interphase, right? So this is all part of interphase. Okay, and so one thing that happens in both G1 and G2 is cell growth. Okay, and that can include things like duplication of organelles. Okay, and then the S phase, it gets its S name because it synthesizes the DNA, right? So this is part of its whole main role is the DNA synthesis, hence S phase. Okay, but there's also a couple of checkpoints in here, right? There's a checkpoint at G1, right? So there's a checkpoint at G1, and this one just checks for favorable conditions, that everything is ready and good to go on to DNA synthesis. So favorable conditions. It's sort of like if you're baking a cake, you want to check that you have all the ingredients first, right? And then there's a checkpoint here near the end of the G2 phase, the second gap phase. And this one checks that the DNA was duplicated correctly, right? There's no errors. Everything got copied, so you have 2 copies now instead of like 1.5 copies for when you divide. Okay, and so if we look through our choices here, we can see that choice B mentions the duplication of organelles, which would happen in cell growth for G1, the duplication of DNA, right, which is what's happening here in the S phase, and then the assessment of the DNA damage, which happens in the G2 checkpoint. So the correct answer is B.